afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the sixth episode of Market Dialogue, brought to you by Dubai Economy in partnership with Khaleej Times. Welcome, Mr. Mohammed Sha'el, with us today as well to discuss the 6.3 billion dirhams stimulus package offered by the Dubai government to ease the impact of COVID-19 on the businesses. So, welcome on board.
Thank you, Mariam, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon.
Yep. I would like to remind all of our to join us today on this Zoom discussion. You can find the link on Dubai Economy's Instagram at Dubai_DED, and feel free to upload and post any of your inquiries and questions in the chat box in this Zoom conversation. Abdullah, to start with, can you please elaborate further on the 6.3 billion dirhams again that was offered by the government of Dubai to the business community?
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Mariam, for hosting me. Thanks for everybody who's attending this market dialogue. Basically, we were not planned for the pandemic. Nobody was planned for such a problem, catastrophic problem in every economy in the world. Dubai, United Arab Emirates, similar to most of the countries who immediately reacted to such things, and basically each city, each country, each state came up with something to relieve some of the pains that the businesses going through. The 6.3 billion dirhams packages, there are into three packages that the government of Dubai has put in the market, and those packages were given to everybody regardless of their nature, regardless of their nationality. So everybody contributes to the economy of Dubai who are benefiting in one way or another. Some of the businesses were benefiting most, and some of them are not. Depends on the sectors that they are in. These packages were into three different smaller packages, and the last one was almost a month ago, where many of the fees were taken off from the license, from other government departments such as Dubai Municipality, Dubai Customs. So such things have been part of that stimulus package.
So what does it mean? So me as a business owner operating in Dubai, what does this package mean to me? How can I benefit from it?
Well, there are two types of benefits, or two types of getting the benefit out of those stimulus. One of those type is blanket for everybody, similar to 10% discount on all electricity bills that was offered by DIWA. Some of them like registration and renewal of businesses license, market fee, which is 2.5% of the total market fee cost, was abolished from the license. So if you look at such things, there are some of them are blankets for everybody, and some of them are related to somebody. And those the other side type of fees that were cut off, especially for logistics, with custom fees were waived for most of the businesses who are interacting directly with customs. And there were many businesses are saying or feeling that much of the benefit. Maybe people are not getting it directly, but indirectly that goes towards the other companies who are helping other companies in the economy.
So is it specifically is it specifically for a particular sector in the market, or it's anyone? Like you said, blankets is for anyone.
Yes.
So is it were there any kind of packages, like for example for hoteliers, tourism, like packages for real estate, or packages? So are they categorized into groups, or again, blankets?
No, basically we've got, as I said, if you look at the committee looking after the entire stimulus package, led by the Executive Council. We have different members from different government entities, including Free Zone. So Free Zone Council was part of this committee. And if you look at what sometimes Free Zone is offering is really very valuable for Free Zone companies. And non-Free Zone companies, DED and other government departments are offering them the relief, if you want to call it, and those type of reliefs helps those companies at least to not think of paying the government the taxes, which is the for fees, but looking after keeping their employees in place and also running their businesses with a minimal intervention from the government.
Okay, Abu Abdullah, there is a question about okay, so the various stimulus packages, what are the benefits available to business? Okay, so if I am a particular business and I operate in a free zone, how can I go and reveal these offerings? Can I just go directly, show up to the management of that free zone and say, I want to benefit from the package?
Well, as I said, even the free zone, they have a similar approach like Dubai or onshore companies. Some of those packages, they were given a blanket. Some of the free zones were giving 3 months or 5 months or 6 months fee relief. Some of them diverted their payments for some times, and some of them also were giving scratching some of the fees out of those some companies. So, as I said, there are two approaches. One approach, blanket for everybody, that's including free zones, and some of them companies need to apply for. So what are those services companies need to apply for? It depends on the free zone that you are operating in. So you need to talk to the operation of that free zone, and they will better guide you through the stimulus package that pertaining to their free zone.
Okay, so let's come back again to the mainland Dubai and all the companies registered in Dubai economy. Are there any incentives part of Dubai economy's package and offering to help those businesses to operate?
Yes. Now, if you look at each government department, they have their own ways of helping their clients. Like, for example, before I come to DED, I'll go to Dubai municipality, for example. They've done a phenomenal job, especially when it comes to a contracting company and construction companies. Normally, construction companies, they have to give a bank guarantee for projects, and that bank guarantee sometimes is it's a cash locked somewhere in a bank or somewhere. So lately, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid, Allah yatawal b'umrah, has given us direct instruction to the Director General of Dubai Municipality, telling them that any construction or contracting company who has a bank guarantee stored in Dubai municipality in one form or another has to be given back again as a bank guarantee to those companies. So that is another cash that those companies can use to help their operation, to help their cost. Basically, now everybody knows that the cash is king. Cash is blood for any company. So if I don't have a cash and I have a receivable, huge receivable, I can still be in a trouble. But cash can ease that trouble, and this is where we are coming from, to help those companies to release those cashes and keep it for them. And as I said, the 2.5% of the market fee is really sometimes comes to a lump sum, good lump sum of cash. So the government said, instead of you paying me as a government, no, don't pay me, keep it for you, and do not pay me back again. I mean, this money is not as a loan from the government, it's a gift from the government to the to all businesses in Dubai and Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, now coming back to DED, coming back to DED.
Exactly.
Yes. Now, DED has done too many things for businesses. Examples of those, now any business can renew their license without having an ijara contract. And you know, ijara sometimes, especially nowadays, many businessmen came to us and saying, it's a real time for us to go and negotiate with the landlord. Now, if you don't renew my license, I will incur lots of penalty fees in this sense. We said, no. Now, we will renew your license under a promise that you renegotiate with your landlord. And once you have that negotiation happen, then we can have your tenancy contract as part of your operation, as part of your registration. This is one thing. The other thing is if you have, for example, the amount of cumulative amount of fees that you need to pay for the entire government when it comes to your renewal, and it exceeded 100,000 dirhams, we can in DED, this is where you need to apply. We can in DED an installment for you over 12 months. So instead of paying one large cash 100,000 upfront to DED for your next new year renewal, we say no, we will renew your license, and those 100,000 we can divide them into 12 months, where you can pay about 8,500 monthly.
Monthly fee. Is it restricted as a minimum to 100,000, or is it without any minimum amount?
Well, basically, before it was you have to pay upfront 25%, and then we divide it to you over the year. But now, His Highness Sheikh Hamad has taken, Sheikh Hamdan has taken that 25% upfront. So you don't need to pay 25,000 in order for us to divide those into 12 months. No, we can take the entire 100,000 and divide them evenly into those months.
Okay, and this is only for renew. How about a new trade license? Is it
similar thing? We can deal with a similar thing. If your trade license, like for example, if you're a factory, if you are a big logistics. So normally, if you are a micro or small businesses, normally your license fee will not exceed 30,000. It depends on how many employees you have, because many calculation comes with your license. But if you are a medium or large company, we can do the same thing also for you when it comes to dividing the lump sum into 12 months.
Okay, I would like also to remind our followers that to benefit from the packages of Dubai Economy, you can find the details on Dubai Economy's Instagram. There is a specific post that was posted a couple of days ago. We would repost it today if you would like so. So to remind you of how can you benefit from them. They were launched in March for 3 months, and they were renewed for another 3 months till end of September. So please make sure that you benefit from them. Now back again to the questions of our followers online. So Mr. Vinesh Bahmani, he said, are there any packages for Jabal Ali? Especially the industry in Jabal Ali. So is there anything for Jabza?
Well, Mr. Dinesh is a very good friend of ours. He always smiles, and if you can see his picture with his missus also smiling. So I thank you, and haven't seen you for a long time. As I said, the Free Zone Council is a representation of all Dubai free zones, and each free zone they came up with their own stimulus package. So yes, Jabza, they have their own stimulus package, and it is available on their website, and also it's available on Dubai Free Zone Council website. So you can deal it, you can approach them there, and they are very nice people in Jabza. I used to be a Jabza, so I'm ex-Jabza. I know them very well there, and they are very helpful, and they can lead you through whatever packages they have.
Okay, so there's a question. Are these incentives applicable to Emirati-owned businesses only, or is it for any businessman in Dubai?
Okay, that's a very good question, and I would like to a bit elaborate on this. Now, for us in the United Arab Emirates, legally, if you establish a company in Dubai or in the United Arab Emirates, we don't care about your nationality, okay? Because that company becomes UAE company, and that company registered in UAE registry. So anything that's given to anybody in Dubai or United Arab Emirates, it's given to the company, not to the owner of the company. So even if you are from Honolulu or you are from somewhere New Zealand, you will get if this benefit given to the entire economy, you will be part of it, regardless of your nationality, because your company is a UAE company.
Yeah.
Sorry, not only this, I'm saying, because legally, if you are a representative of a company, overseas company, you are not UAE company, but you will be also part of the incentive. We will also help you into that. So anything applicable for UAE companies, for free zone companies, and for a company who represent their headquarters abroad to Dubai and here, they will be part of this also.
Perfect. There is another question from Mr. D. Dans. what are the benefits for starting online business in UAE to launch a new product?
That is another extremely nice question. I've been asked this question always, by the way. Now, online business is a representation, or it's a new channel, or one of the channels that you use in order for you to reach out to your clients. Now, for us, online is similar to a shop. So brick and mortar, click and mortar, in our view, the same. Now, some companies, they choose the balance between those 50% click and mortar and 50% brick and mortars. Some companies choose this 90% click and mortars and 10% brick and mortars. So in all cases, we welcome any type. And Dubai, we are working in too many policies now into fostering the economy of Dubai and moving Dubai from 1.0 to 2.0, from a physical, traditional Dubai economy to a more digitized Dubai economy. We've got so many projects in place. One of them is Engage Pay, Engage DXB. Those are some of the benefits that we are experiencing now. We are going to put it in the economy. So we are encouraging everybody to use different newly channels. Brick and mortars were good in traditional businesses. Click and mortars will be the future. But you need to understand the mix between them. So far, we don't have 100% a click and mortar for anybody, apart from a micro UAE national businesses, which we called it e-trader. We are testing that sphere, and hopefully the test, if it is beneficial for the economy, we will take that policy up to the Highness's level to let them know that this is a new way of doing business, where click and mortar is over superseding the click and mortar, and hopefully we'll come up with different policies and enhancing that experience.
Very interesting. So also to remind our followers to come online through post your questions in the chat room, so we could pick them up and use this time for answering attend to all your inquiries. So one more question, Abdullah, was about the federal incentives. We heard a lot about the UAE government, as a UAE government, launched a package through the central bank, a stimulus package, anti-coronavirus, anti-COVID, that was worth of $256 billion. So how can us as businesses in Dubai, residing in Dubai, benefit from that federal level package?
Excellent. Now, if you look at the package was divided into two main components. One component is to give more cash to the banks to help them during this COVID-19 period. And the other, almost 60 billion, were given to the bank as a loan. So the bank can adhere to that loan, can expose themselves to that loan, so that they can take it interest-free, and it is they don't need to bring it back or take it back again to the central bank. They can divide it also into 3 years. And those 60 million is basically the bank has to look at their clientele and to look at those clientele who are really suffering from the pandemic and try to help them. Now, the banks, on the other hand, they need to understand the business model for each businesses. They've got lots of interaction with their clients. They know their clients very well. They know those businesses who before COVID-19 were doing very good, but during COVID-19 they had a problem. So basically they are going to, or some of the banks extended help to those businesses. But we hear there are many of those businesses, they did not get access to those stimulus or to those incentives. Banks, they came forward. We've been interacting with the banks, by the way, especially the Dubai banks, the 5 Dubai banks. We've been talking to them and how can they help micro and smaller businesses. And their reaction, they said, we have no problem, but the problem is the money that we have in the bank. It is not our money. It is not the bank money. It is either a depositor money or investors' money or government money through the central bank. Now, before we give those money, because those are not free, there are no free money in the market. Nobody gives free money. I wish that people are giving free money. I will be the first one who give those free money. So they were easing the procedure for their clients or for their non-clients. They were easing the procedure of lending them amount of money that they require based on their financial statements. So that was the dilemma between some companies saying we did not get any benefit out of this, and some companies they got some benefit out of it.
So basically, the federal announcement by the central bank, the support stimulus package, is available to the business community to benefit from through their banks that they are their bankers that they are dealing with.
Okay. And this is a huge lesson for all of us. Now, we know that when money was easy before COVID, money was a bit of ease. So companies go to the bank do a bit of due diligence and they give you money, and sometimes companies have defaulted. Now we learn through this experience that if you were good before COVID-19, bank will most likely be tied into you more. Now, for me as a businessman, or you as a businessman, I understand now I need to be very intuitive and very responsible when it comes to dealing with the bank. So when I receive money from the bank as a loan, I need to pay it on the agreed fashion. Otherwise, when the money is tight, nobody will help you. Why? Because you did not help yourself at that time.
Yeah. So there's a question from Ibrahim. How DED supporting SME industry? We had actually, Mr. Ibrahim, a session previous to this one discussing specifically the packages offered to the SME members, and we hosted Dubai SME. We discussed all the details, but we could also remind our followers right now about briefly what are the packages that Dubai SME under DED.
Okay. Excellent. So if you are a Dubai SME member, you will be exposed to many benefits. Some of those benefits, as I said, part of what is given to all companies, and some of them is for those companies who are really have lots of receivables. They are good standing, their financial is excellent. They can finance some of their invoices through a Beehive. Beehive is a B2B fund system that Dubai Economy is a partner, is an actual partner with. So basically, they will look at your financials, and they will. Sometimes small and micro businesses will not have good access to the banks. And if you are part of Dubai SME, if you don't have access to the banks, they will take you through one of their financial modeling that they have. One of them is Beehive, and they have a different thing. The other thing is recently the government of Dubai has increased the percentage of Dubai SME members in government procurement. So it used to be 5%, and they make it 10%, and now I think it's 20%. So that gives you more exposure to government department, where you can enhance your revenue out of the government procurement system.
So in addition to the financial support to the SME industry, I would like to recall what we discussed in that discussion, that we also had several incentives like empowering them with knowledge, helping them how to navigate their way during COVID, and how can they really restructure their companies, come up with new revenue models, come to training sessions and learn, exchange best practices and how others did better during COVID, and what kind of things that to avoid and do. So there's a lot even beyond just a financial support, which is obviously important, but there was a lot of benefits from training to knowledge to restructuring. I would like also to answer some of the questions in here. Okay, so what about renewal fees of SMEs companies? What about, so yes, there were waivers for those SMEs. You can elaborate further about the packages that are in the free zones within Dubai. We have multiple free zones, and you said each free zone had its own facilities. So as we can see, the Dubai Healthcare City had a facility. So each sector had its benefits. So can you just briefly run us like through a scan of how can people, and give us some examples of what kind of benefits that they could benefit from?
Okay. As I said, we've got around 22 free zones, so I don't recall the 22 different packages.
All of them, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but they've all come under the Free Zone, Dubai Free Zone Council's umbrella. And the Free Zone Council umbrella is led by His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed and chaired by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Zarouni. So basically, they were asking all free zones to come up with their own packages, and that includes license fees, includes rentals, includes visas for the employees, including the deferment of some of the checks and payments. So I cannot recall them all together, but easily will be available on Dubai Free Zone Council website.
Yeah. Is it available as well on DXB Engage?
Yes, actually, Dubai DXB Engage DXB website or engagedxb.ae has many things, many of the circulars, whether they are offshore and onshore. So basically what we try to do is this website and the app, which is called Dubai or called Engage DXB, is basically a platform from businesses to businesses. We have nothing to do with it. We are just a mediator. We are just a facilitator for that platform. So basically, if you go there, you can not only deal what type of investment, incentives, but also how can you interact with each other as business groups and as also individuals who are working in Dubai, whether you are free zone or not free zone. It is a fabulous platform. I encourage everybody to download it.
So you'll find all this information available on Engage DXB. All the incentives that are more than 150 incentives were released and announced in different packages, like into different phases, phase 1 and then phase 2 and then phase 3. As well, Abu Abdullah, there was another a question about the facilities offered by Muhri, Ministry of Human Resources. During COVID, there were a lot of announcements by the federal government where they supported as well the manpower, the facilitation of the manpower, and these also are included or considered as incentives. So 6.3 billion dirhams in Dubai, these are the government.
This is not including more. That is a federal, and that's a bigger number. Now, if we calculate both numbers, Dubai number and federal number, it will become more than 10 or 12 billion dirhams, more than that. I can only speak about Dubai government because I was part of that committee. I cannot speak on behalf of the federal because I don't know what exactly they have. But everybody in the community understand that the federal also has put lots of incentives into the system, and the biggest one was through Mehri.
Yeah. So Ms. Yogita or Mr. Yogita is asking, are we a member of Dubai SME when we have a business in Dubai, or is there a separate process for that?
Okay, that's a good question, another good question. Now, Dubai SME by law, it's an establishment under Dubai economy, and it is only created to only help UAE nationals and GCC nationals. And why is that? Is just to bring the UAE nationals and GCC nationals to a better platform through education, through helping them into understanding how they do their businesses. So far, that law is only for UAE nationals, but His Excellency Mr. Abdel Basit Al-Janahi, through our Director General, His Excellency Mr. Sam Al-Gimzi, now are thinking to take this to put anybody in Dubai, if they are falling under those criteria of micro or small businesses, who will be part of it. So far, it's only for UAE national.
Abu Abdullah, one last question. I will transform it into a question. If someone, any of those businesses who were in Dubai onshore or offshore, and went to the managing entities, whether DEV or any free zone, and they wanted to avail these packages and they couldn't get access, what in that case the scenario would be, and how can they really ensure that they get access to the stimulus packages that are announced officially by His Highness?
Excellent. Now, if you look at the announcement, you will find each government department, they have their own stimulus package. This is Dubai government departments.
Exactly.
So if you are, for example, looking at the customs incentive program, then the best place is to go to the Dubai municipality. They will do it for you. So basically it depends on which type of incentives you are looking for, so that it will help you. Now, when it comes to business licensing, DED, that's for onshore license, DED is the best place to come, and they will help you exactly to do one or many of those things. We've got around 38 branches scattered in all Dubai. Some of them are also in the free zone, so basically you can go to them and they can help you in that payment.
And if you have any further inquiries, you can email us at info@dubaided.gov.ae. Unfortunately, it's time to wrap up. Thank you, Mohammed Sha'il, for joining us today. Thank you, everyone, for raising your concerns. Please feel free to still contact us if you have any further inquiries at info@dubaided.gov.ae, and follow us at Dubai_DED on our social media handles. Also, we'll attend to your inquiries there. A copy of this episode will be available on YouTube, our YouTube channel, Dubai Economy, and be with us with a new market dialogue next week. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much for hosting me. Thank you.